Revised K to 10 curriculum, Quarter 3, Week 7, Mathematics 5. Our lesson for today is about dividing 1 to 2-digit whole numbers resulting in a terminating decimal quotient, like for example, 4 divided by 5 equals 8 tenths. And divide a decimal of up to 2 decimal places by a 1-digit whole number. Let's try to have a short review first. Task 1, floor plan problem. Okay, a floor plan starts with grids before putting up rooms. So this is our grid and this is the floor plan. Focus on the gridded figure at the right. If one small square in the figure represents a tile, how many tiles are there? Okay, so are you ready with your answers? Our problem was about if one small square represents one tile, how many tiles are there? Okay, so how did you get your answer? What operation did you use? Okay, it's just like getting the area of a square, right? So we need to get the length and the width. So by the way, we will use meter as our unit of measure. So since we have 16 small squares on our length, so that is 16 meters, and we also have 16 in our width, that is 16 meters. So it's just like getting the area of a square. We'll just get the length and the width, the product of the length and the width. So we'll just multiply 16 times 16 equals 256 meter squared or square meters. Okay? Focus on the gridded figure again. Okay? So if a rectangular room needs 8 tiles, how many rooms can you fit in the house, disregarding the other parts of the house? Let's go back with our question. If a rectangular room needs 8 tiles, how many rooms can you fit in the house, disregarding the other parts of the house? Okay, so since we have 256 meters squared or square meters, so there are 256 tiles in all. How many rooms can you fit in the house with a rectangular room that needs 8 tiles? How many rooms can be fit in? What operation did you use? We're going to divide. Okay, so the operation will be division and the equation is 256 divided by 8 equals n. Okay, so how many rooms can you fit in the house if you have 256 tiles and each room needs 8 tiles? How many rooms can you make? And that's our problem. Okay. And to answer our problem, we can get the answer by using division method. Okay, so we'll divide 256 tiles divided by 8 tiles. And the answer would be the number of rooms that can be fit in that house, disregarding the other parts of the house. Okay, so 256 divided by 8. Then we will follow the steps and so in division method. So first is divide the first digit of the dividend by the divisor. Count how many divisors could fit in the first digit of the dividend. So if you can't fit at least one, consider the first two digits of the dividend instead. Put the quotient above the selected digits of the dividend. Example, you can fit 3 eighths in 25. So 25 divided by 8 equals 3. So let's just check. The first digit, 2, is 2 can be divided by 8? Of course not. So there is no 8 in 2. So we need to move another digit. So we'll use 2 digits instead. 25 divided by 8. And that is 3. There are 3 eighths in 25. Okay, so let's put 3 above the quotient above. Okay, so 25 divided by 8 is 3. Then multiply. That's the next step. After dividing, we multiply the quotient from the step 1 to the divisor. Okay, put the product below the selected digits of the dividend. So let's try to multiply 8 times 3. We have 24 and put below. Okay, and then subtract. The next step is subtraction. Subtract the selected digits of the dividend by the product from step 2. Then put the difference below product. Example, 25 minus 24 is 1. Okay, we'll just subtract 25 minus 24. The answer is 1. Okay? Let's continue the process of dividing. Step 4. Bring down a digit from the dividend. The resulting number will be the new dividend. Then repeat step 1. Divide the new dividend by the divisor. So in our case, we'll bring down 6. And that becomes 16. That is our new dividend. So step 5. Repeat steps 1 to 4 until you use up all the digits of the original dividend. So our new dividend is 16. And then how many 8s are there in 16? Meaning to say we have to divide 16 by 8. 16 divided by 8 is 2. Okay? Then multiply 2 by 8. 2 times 8 is 16. And then subtract. Subtract 16 minus 16, the answer is 0. So, since our remainder is 0, our answer is exact. That is 32. So 256 divided by 8 equals 32. Therefore, the final answer is 32 rectangular rooms. Let's have another problem. If a rectangular room needs 12 tiles, how many rooms can you fit in the house, disregarding the other parts of the house? Okay. Our problem would be, if a rectangular room needs 12 tiles, how many rooms can you fit in the house, disregarding the other parts of the house? So what operation did you use? Again, we will use the same process. Okay, we will divide 256 tiles by 12 tiles. So 256 divided by 12 equals n. So that is our equation for the problem. Get the answer by using division method. So 256 divided by 12 equals n. 256 tiles divided by 12 tiles. Okay, step 1, divide. Okay, let's have to divide first. How many 12s are there in 25? We have 2. And then multiply 2 by 12. We have 24. Then subtract 25 by 24. The answer is 1. And then bring down 6. And that will be our new dividend. Then repeat the steps 1 to 4 until you use the digits of the original dividend. So 16 divided by 12, we have 1. 1 times 12, we have 12. Subtract 16 minus 12, the answer is 4. So our answer is not exact since we have a remainder 4. Okay, so this is not exact. There's an extra of 4 tiles. So therefore, our final answer is 21, remainder 4. So 256 divided by 12 equals 21, remainder 4. The answer is 21 rectangular rooms with 4 tiles extra. Okay, you can get the answer by using division method. Again, 256 divided by 12 equals n. 256 divided by 12. We will use 25 as our dividend. Divide by our divisor, which is 12. So 25 divided by 12, the answer is 2. And then multiply 2 by 12, we have 24. Then subtract 25 minus 24, the answer is 1. And then bring down 6. That becomes our new dividend, 16. 16 divided by 12, we have 1. 1 times 12 is 12. Then subtract 16 minus 12 is 4. That is our remainder. So 21 remainder 4 is our final answer. So there are 21 rectangular rooms with 4 extra tiles. And the answer is 21 remainder 4. It could also be written as 21 and 3,333 10,000s in decimals. Okay? For our lesson objectives, by the end of the lesson, you'll be able to number 1, divide 1 to 2-digit whole numbers resulting in a terminating decimal quotient. Example, 4 divided by 5 is 8/10. Number 2, divide a decimal of up to 2 decimal places by a 1-digit whole number resulting in a terminating decimal quotient of up to 3 decimal places. For unlocking content area vocabulary, we have division. So 75 divided by 4 equals 18 remainder 3. So when you say the dividend, it is the number being divided. When you say divisor, the divisor is the number by which you are dividing. When you say quotient, the quotient is the result. And when you say the remainder, it is the quantity left over. There are 4 steps in dividing. First is divide, then second step is multiply, then third step is subtract, and then the fourth step is bring down. Okay, so in our case, we have 256 divided by 8. So first step, we have to divide. Divide the first digit of the dividend by the divisor. So say, for example, 2 by 8. It cannot fit, so we need to move another digit. So count how many divisors could fit in the first digit of the dividend. If you can fit at least one, consider the first two, okay? First two digits of the dividend instead. So put the quotient above the selected digits of the dividend. So 25 divided by 8, the answer is 3. And then step 2, multiply. 3 times 8 is 24. Okay, multiply the quotient from step 1 to the divisor. Put the product below the selected digits of the dividend. So 25 minus 24. Then step 3, we need to subtract. Subtract the selected digits of the dividend by the product from the step 2. Put the difference below the product. So 25 minus 24, the answer is 1. And then step 4, bring down a digit. So bring down digit from the dividend. The resulting number will be the new dividend. Then repeat step 1, divide the new dividend by the divisor. Repeat steps 1 to 4 until you use up all the digits of the original dividend. Okay, so in our case, we need to bring down 6. So our new dividend is 16. 16 divided by 8, the answer is 2. Then multiply again. 2 times 8 is 16. Then subtract 16 minus 16, the answer is 0. And that makes it, our answer is 32. So 256 divided by 8 is 32. We have decimal place values. So we use the place value chart. So the whole number part and the decimal part are being separated with a decimal point. So its place is 10 times larger than the place to its right. We also have this kind of place value chart. Okay, the decimal point is at the center. It is in between whole number part and the decimal part. Okay. So we also have rounding of decimal numbers. For example, if 5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, let it rest. We also have this one in the place value chart. So if we're going to round off 26.45 to the ones place, just look for the rounding digit, which is 6. And then the number to its right is 4, so that is round down. So that becomes 26. And also we can also use line. number line to look for the rounding digit. Okay. On day 2, divide 1 to 2-digit whole numbers resulting terminating decimal quotient. For example, 4 divided by 5 equals 8/10. For your task number 4, you're going to solve the following equations. I'm going to give you 10 minutes to finish. Okay, so 7 divided by 5, then 85 divided by 4, and 69 divided by 12. Okay, so let's check our answers now. You can check your solution based on my solution here on the board. Okay, so 7 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. So the answer is 1, remainder 2, since our answer is not exact. Okay, we also have number 2, 85 divided by 4. So again, 8 can be divided by 4, so we will stick to one digit only. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. Then 8 minus 8 is 0. And then bring down 5. 5 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. Then subtract 5 minus 4 is 1. So again, our answer is not exact since we have remainder 1. So the answer is 21, remainder 1. What about number 3? We have 69 divided by 12. Again, 6 cannot be divided by 12, so we move another digit and that becomes 69. So how many 12s are there in 69? We have 5. 5 times 12, we have 60. Okay, and then subtract. 69 minus 60, we have 9. Again, our answer is not exact since we have a remainder of 9. So the answer is 5, remainder 9. For your task number 5, okay, we'll continue dividing by adding the decimal point and 0. Okay, since this is our original answer, we can continue our expression by adding decimal point and 0. So add a decimal point after the last digit of the original dividend, then put a 0 after the decimal point. So decimal point and 0, and then copy the decimal point in the quotient above, like that. And then bring down 0. Okay, bring down 0, and then divide again. This is our new dividend, 20. 20 divided by 5, we have 4. And then multiply 4 times 5, we have 20. And then subtract. And then 20 minus 20, the remainder is now 0. Do you see that? So therefore, 7 divided by 5 is equal to 1 and 4/10. Therefore, the answer is 1 and 4/10. The remainder is 0. And now, the answer is in decimal form. For your task number 5, try to resolve equation number 2 and 3. Okay? To get a decimal quotient instead of remainders. Just like what I did in the first one. And then I'm going to give you 5 minutes to answer. For your task number 5, I'm going to show you the quotient of number 2 and quotient of number 3 as shown below. Okay, we'll just continue our solution by just adding decimal point and 0 in our dividend, and then copy the decimal point in the quotient, and then bring down 0 to make it a new dividend. 1 becomes 10. Then continue dividing. 10 divided by 4, we have 2. 2 times 4 is 8. And then subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. And then add another 0 in our dividend. And then bring down to make it a new dividend, which is 20. 20 divided by 4, just continue dividing. 5 times 4 is 20. And now, our remainder is 0. And that makes our answer 21 and 25 hundredths. For our equation number 3. Okay, this is our answer before with a remainder. But by just adding decimal point and 0, we can continue our quotient. Okay, then copy the decimal point in the quotient and then bring down 0 to make it a new dividend. So 90 divided by 12, we have 7. 7 times 12 is 84. Then 90 minus 84, we have 6. And then another 0 in our dividend. Then bring it down again to make it 60. How many 12s are there in 60? We have 5. 5 times 12 is 60. Then the remainder is 0. And the final answer is 5 and 75 hundredths. That makes it the final answer. Okay? Continue our task number 5. We have another equation here, which is 12 divided by 16. So what makes it differ? What makes it different from the first 3 equations? As you can see, this is a whole number by another whole number, but you cannot divide 12 by 16, right? So what are we going to do? Okay, divide 12 by 16, the answer is 0. Okay, and then multiply 0 times 16 is 0. Then subtract 12 minus 0 is 12. And then that's the time that we need to add another decimal point and 0. Add decimal point and 0, copy decimal point in the quotient, and then bring down 0 to our new dividend. So 12 becomes 120. 120 divided by 16 is 7. 7 times 16 is 112. Then subtract, and that makes it 8. And then add another 0 to your dividend and then bring down to your new dividend. That makes it 80. And then how many 16 are there in 80? We have 5. 5 times 16, we have 80. Then subtract, the remainder is 0. And that makes our answer 75 hundredths. So the answer is 12 divided by 16 equals 75 hundredths. So for your task number 16, answer the activity number 1. We are now on day 3. Divide a decimal of up to 2 decimal places by a 1-digit whole number, resulting in a terminating decimal quotient of up to 3 decimal places. This is your task number 7. Solve the following equations with decimal quotient for 10 minutes. 351 divided by 6. Number 2, 628 divided by 5. And number 3, 479 divided by 8. Check your answers and solutions on the board. Okay. For task number 8, look at the equations below. How are these equations differ from the first 3 equations? You can refer to task number 7. For the solution of task number 8, item number 4, we have 35 and 1/10 divided by 6. So first, you are going to copy the decimal point in the quotient. And then 3 divided by 6 cannot be, so we have to move another digit. So we will use 35. 35 divided by 6. How many 6 are there in 35? Okay, we have 5. 5 times 6 is 30. And then subtract. 35 minus 30, we have 5. And then bring down 1. Then repeat the process. Divide 51 by 6. We have 8. Then multiply 8 times 6 is 48. And then subtract. 51 minus 48 is 3. And then add 0 to the dividend and bring it down to make it new dividend 30. 30 divided by 6, we have 5. And then 5 times 6, we have 30. And then subtract 30 minus 30. Okay, so the remainder is 0. Meaning your answer is 5 and 85 hundredths. Return to solve the equations number 5 and 6 to get a decimal quotient instead of remainders. So you'll be given 10 minutes to do this. Let's solve together the equations number 5 and 6 to get a decimal quotient instead of remainders. So the first one is 6 and 28 hundredths divided by 5. First, copy the decimal point in the quotient and then divide. 6 by 5, we have 1. Then multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. Then subtract. 6 minus 5, you'll get 1. Then bring down 12. Then repeat the process from step 1 to 4 until you use up all the digits of the original dividend. So we have a new dividend here, which is 12. Then divide. 12 by 5 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. And then subtract. 12 minus 10, we have 2. And then bring down 8. Again, repeat the process. Divide 28 by 5, we have 5. 5 times 5 is 25. And then subtract. 28 minus 25 is 3. And then add 0 to the dividend. Okay? And then bring it down to make it a new dividend, which is 30. 30 divided by 5, we have 6. And then 6 times 5, we have 30. Then subtract 30 minus 30. So we have 0 as our remainder. So as you can see, our answer is 1 and 256 thousandths. It is now a decimal quotient. Okay? For number 6, 4 and 79 hundredths divided by 8. Let's start with the decimal point. Copy the decimal point in the quotient. And then since we have whole number part, we will divide 4 by 8. That the answer is 0. So 0 times 8 is 0. Then subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. And then bring down 7. So we have another new dividend. So let's start with the process. Divide 47 by 8, we have 5. Then multiply 5 times 8, we have 40. Then subtract 47 minus 40, we have 7. And then bring down 9. Then repeat the process. Divide 79 by 8, we have 9. 9 times 8, we have 72. Then subtract 79 minus 72, we have 7. And then add 0 in the dividend. Then bring it down to make 7 as 70. Then we have a new dividend, which is 70. 70 divided by 8, we have 8. 8 times 8 is 64. And then subtract 70 minus 64, we have 6. And then add another 0 in the dividend and then bring it down to make it a new dividend, which is 60. 60 divided by 8 is 7. 7 times 8 is 56. Then subtract 60 minus 56, we have 4. And then add another 0. And then bring down to make it 40. So 40 divided by 8, we have 5. And then 5 times 8 is 40. Then subtract 40 minus 40. The remainder is 0. And that makes our answer 59,879 hundred thousandths. For activity number 2, just answer task number 9 and you'll be given 20 minutes to do that. 10. Learners' takeaways. So for your final task, you are going to make an infographic poster on dividing whole and decimal numbers by whole numbers. The infographic should include a step-by-step procedure with a working example. Okay, so you'll be given 15 minutes to finish this task.